but I doubt it. I guess it's time for the next song. And this is actually quite fitting, because this is a part of his argument.
They say the curve is proven, the shadow told the tale, like no other answer could ever fit that trail. A claim looks strong when you don't compare, but logic breaks when alternatives aren't there. If one idea is all they choose to see, they call it truth, but it's not necessarily. A single clue doesn't seal the deal. You need the tests that show it's real. You say it's only the globe, but you never check the rest. You jump from one small clue to a claim that's claimed best. If you won't rule others out, then the logic falls apart. They point at ships that vanish, say the curve's the only way, ignoring how perspective can trick the eye each day. A tidy story feels like proof at first, but skipping steps is how weak logic gets rehearsed. They don't compare, they just declare, then act like nothing else could ever fail, when possibilities stay untried. That's how bad conclusions hide. You say it's only the globe, but you never check the rest. You jump from one small clue to a claim that's claimed best. If you won't rule others out, then the logic falls apart. False dilemma, the confident shout. If it isn't the globe, then nothing works out. Argument from ignorance, rise in disguise. No one proved another model, so they improvise. But absence of checking is not proof at all. It just makes the logic small. They say the stars are spinning, so the globe must be true, as though no other frame could make that view. A clever phrase can sound airtight, but certainty takes more than sounding right. When a claim avoids a fair test ground, that's how fallacies wear a crown. Real proof stands when rivals fall, not when they're ignored, not checked at all. You say it's only the globe, but you never check the rest. You jump from one small clue to a claim that's claimed best. If you won't rule others out, then the logic falls apart. So if they say it only works on the globe, ask which options they truly probe. For any world can seem well known when the missing tests are quietly overthrown.
That's only the globe. Guess I'll play you guys one more. Climatry. That's a common argument from a globe believer, that you can prove the globe by climbing a tree.
Yeah. They said climb a tree, bro, that proves geometry. But they never learned perspective, let's teach them real sight. They say Earth is a globe, just climb a tree, you'll see farther. The line of sight's the reason, not a curve, making it harder. On a flat plane, vision pinched to 0 degrees. Ground meets sky in the distance, that's perspective squeeze. Rayleigh on the retina, angles too tight. Sky and land overlap, unresolved in your sight. Depth gets compressed like a hallway line. Vanishing point where the grounds resign. At ground level, you're stuck in that optical bind. Everything merges in the far field of the mind. Then you rise a few meters and open up that view. Angle widens to the surface, nothing spherical in that cube. Climb a tree, they swear that's proof to me. But that's optics, that's perspective, not a claim of geometry. See farther when you rise, yeah, that's how vision be. Don't reify a globe from a trickle what the eye can't see. They built globe in equations, then declared it as fact. Reified the abstraction till the map became the act. Compared photos in perspective to drawings out of scope. Images that break human sight, selling faith like it's hope. You can't take a math projection and pretend it's the same as a view bound by optics in the limits of the frame. They sketch perfect curves with a God eyesight, but nobody sees the world from an infinite height. So don't mix a diagram where we're in us detect. Don't confuse what we model with what sense reflect. Your angle to the ground is the thing that sets you free. Not a curve, just the optics when you climb a tree. Climb a tree, they swear that's proof to me. But that's optics, that's perspective, not a claim of geometry. See farther when you rise, yeah, that's how vision be. Don't reify a globe from a trick of what the eye can't see. Ground to sky compression, that's the horizon line. Not the edge of a planet, just a visual design. Raise your point of view, the angle starts to free. More terrain appears, but that don't show curvature to me. So next time they claim, man, that's proof we live on a sphere. Tell them vision ain't geometry, the logic isn't there. Teach them how perspective works, let them hear which see. Seeing farther when you climb ain't Earth's sphericity. Even the globers have to admit that what you experience is a locally flat land, brother. They hide conclusions in the premises, buried in the phrase, and dress the claim is scientific, but the logic still hazing. Before the drums hit, listen, we're stripping down the reasoning, blazing. Critical minds never fear the inspection. Empirical eyes cut straight through deception. This is the calm before the fire, the quiet before the method takes the pyre. 808 land. Now the logic gets loud, fallacies scatter when the truth hits the crowd. Yo, question begging loose with the premise in doubt. Smuggling models in the setup like a thief in a shroud. Circular claims masquerading as fact, but the moment you check them, the spine goes crack. We don't take a globe baked into the tack. That argument instead, the second it's unpacked. Strip the claim of the model they hide. Burn the premise, watch the fallacies slide. If the logic don't stand on its own 2 feet, that's a signal the reasoning's incomplete. Don't mistake a model for the world outside. Use the method, let reality decide. All models fail, even ones that seem tight. Useful don't mean accurate, and pretty ain't right. False dilemmas everywhere like a mental blockade. Only works on a globe, yeah, that line's handmade. Never tested the rivals, never stepped in the shade. That's a logic malfunction in academic parade. Argument from ignorance, no alternative shown, but you never searched, so the gap stays unknown. Non-causa, pro-causa, false causes thrown, assigning truth to a model that ain't fully
grown. A model is not the world, just a tool we wield. Maps ain't mountains, words ain't the field. All models are wrong, yeah, that truth's revealed. Useful doesn't grant the power to be real. Strip the claim of the model they hide. Burn the premise, watch the fallacy slide. The logic don't stand on its own 2 feet. That's a signal the reasoning's incomplete. Don't mistake a model for the world outside. Use the method, let reality decide. All models fail, even ones that seem tight. Beautiful don't mean accurate and pretty ain't right. Hasty conclusions sprinting with no evidence weight. Consensus paraded like the arbiter of fate. But logic ain't democracy, it doesn't relate. Truth don't shift cause the crowd took the bait. Premise artists crush every weak foundation. Fallacies fold under examination. Critical realist empiricist station where arguments die under clear observation.
And I made this one to teach the Globers how the scientific method works.
Cold mind, clean line. Let's separate method from myth. People call things science when they're barely observational. Man-made objects poses proof that's operational, fictional. Pseudo-science copies language, but the logic's imprecisional. Skips the steps that make a theory verifiable or conditional. Real science starts simple, watch a natural event. Something happening by itself, not a gadget you invent. A phenomenon's an action, so the effect is what's sensed. The dependent variable, the thing you measure at the end. If you're testing human constructs, then the method's misapplied. Cause science needs nature's behavior, not a diagram supply. Method over myth, that's the line we draw. Truth comes slow when the steps stay raw. Observe what nature does, no tricks, no props. And follow each phase till the falsehood stops. If the test don't break it, the cause might stand. If the test disproves it, rebuild your plan. It's real science, no faith, no guess. Just the world revealing what the world is best. Now once you've seen the action, you presume a cause. And if the structure built with precise mental laws, if heat then water boils, simple conditional clause. Not assumed as truth, it's a model that waits for flaws. And a hypothesis ain't fact, it's a testable prediction. 2 outcomes on the table with symmetrical conviction. White heat, no boil, that's your no condition. 2 heat boils, that's causal recognition. But you need both options open or the method gets derailed. Cause a test that can't be falsified has already failed. Method over myth, that's the line we draw. Truth comes slow when the steps stay raw. Observe what nature does, no tricks, no props. And follow each phase till the falsehood stops. If the test don't break it, the cause might stand. If the test disproves it, rebuild your plan. That's real science, no faith, no guess. Just the world revealing what the world is best. Just the world revealing what the world is best. Prediction is the hinge must swing. Cause a good hypothesis risks losing everything. Pseudo-science fears failure, locks outcomes tight. Science needs the chance, it could prove itself wrong tonight. If you can't break the model, then your test ain't strong. And the claim ain't knowledge, it's belief dreads long. The method's not glamorous, it's repetition and grind. It's letting nature dictate what you get to find. No authority, no schoolroom, no movie design. Just data exposing what aligns in the mind. Cause an effect emerged from the predictions fulfilled. Not from stories or symbols or the things we're told to build. It's a discipline of failure, sharpened and distilled. Where the world writes the answer and the ego stays still. Cold mind, clear sight, let nature speak.
wants to Moirai wants to talk. He's not
No.
even in here.
Not even in here. Something out of the ordinary.
I figured you guys would like this one, or at least be able to appreciate it more than the Globers, because this is Gravity Theory Stack. That's the name of the song, and it's built on all the different theories of gravity and the explicit differences between them.
Newton started with a law, absolute time, fixed stage. Instant interaction, force written on the page. Einstein flipped it, no force, just curvature we trace. Math tells space-time how to bend, objects follow in that space. Brands, Dickey, edit, scholars made G a shifting rate. Variable coupling, constant cosmic fields that modulate. F and R rewrites the action with a generalized R. Modifying dynamics when the curvature gets bizarre.
Whole lot increases gravity's a boundary projection. Book the brain dictionary mapping fields to intersections.
Different theories, different rules, different ideas, they unpack. You gotta keep the logic straight.
Yeah, this is a song that's talking about all of the different gravity theories that are currently at the height of academia contending for the crown of gravity, because current theories of gravity that we get taught in schools have currently already been debunked.
Yeah, and even more are going to keep coming, right? Because the more that science progresses, the more that gravity is going to change. I mean, we've already seen thermodynamics change on the quantum level, so...
So why are you interrupting the song then?
Not interrupting the song, somebody stopped it.
I stopped it because you were talking over it. But
Oh,
if
I'm
you wanna
sorry.
have a
Were you guys
conversation, we
listening
can
to
do
that? My bad. I'll stay quiet if you want me to. Like, if that is that your mandate? You want me to stop talking?
No, I
Well,
said
that's-
if you want to have a conversation, we can do that. Is your ears okay? You have wax or something?
Press the play button, mate.
I guess we'll start again then. Okay. But if you want to talk after the song, we would love to talk to you.
Newton started with a law, absolute time, fixed stage. Instant interaction, force written on the page. Einstein flipped it, no force, just curvature we trace. Math tells space-time how to bend, objects follow in that space. Brands, Dickey, edit, scholars made G a shifting rate. Variable coupling, constant cosmic fields that modulate. F and R rewrites the action with a generalized R. Modifying dynamics when the curvature gets bizarre.
Whole lot increases gravity's a boundary projection. Book the brain dictionary mapping fields to intersections.
Different theories, different rules, different ideas, they unpack. You gotta keep the logic straight when you climb the theory stack. Don't cross the wires, don't mix the frames, don't blend what they abstract. Every model has its domain in the gravity theory stack. Loop quantum gravity, quantas is area like a grid spin. Networks weave geometry with everything they did spin. Phones give the pass when the networks start to shift. Quantum space-time built discrete, every node a little lift. String theory brings gravitons from a close string oscillation. Extra dims curl tight in a higher formulation. M theory brains vibrate 11 total ranks, unifying all the cousins with the membranes in the banks.
Holography gravity's a boundary projection. Bulk to brain dictionary mapping fields to intersection.
Different theories, different rules, different truths they unpack. You gotta keep the logic straight when you climb the theory stack. Don't cross the wires, don't mix the frames, don't blend what they abstract. Every model has its domain in the gravity theory stack. Causal sets say space-time is discrete in how it links. Partial orders build the cosmos with relational bricks. CDT keeps Lorentzian slices clean and neat. Triangulated time steps with causity's concrete. Asymptotic safety hunts for UV fixed point strong. Renormalization flow that keeps the theory running long. Einstein caught in theory as torsion sourced by spin. Twisted geometry where fermions plug in. Emergent gravity claims information runs the show. Entropic reconstruction from microstates below. Group field theory lets space-time be a condensate. Field modes on group manifolds build geometry as a state.
Holography says gravity's a boundary projection. Book the brain dictionary mapping fields to intersection.
Different theories, different rules, different truths they unpack. You gotta keep the logic straight when you climb the theory stack. Measured effects stay solid, but the cause is still abstract. Pick your framework, keep it clean in the gravity theory stack. Massive gravity claim to give the graviton weight. Careful with the ghost, DRGT claims a slave. Biometric model, double metrics, heavy modes appear. One field bends your path while another shifts the gear. Heavy ease tries to mimic mine with vector tensor scalar, altering galactic curves without dark matter as a tailor. Well-in conformal theories introduce scale symmetry, stretching metrics freely with a gauge identity. We got models for the motion, but the cause is still unknown. Every theory paints a picture from the math that calls its own. And you can pick your favorite framework, any lens you want to claim, but that choice stay philosophical until experiments can end. Cause we can tweak space-time fabric, can't adjust the master dance, can't manipulate the variables the way them recommend. So belief fills the gaps where the data can't connect. Different stories for the cause behind the same observed effect. Choose a theory, keep it constant, let the axiom define. Till we find a way to probe the causal test and realign. Till then every model stands as possible but none exact. Cause we can't touch the source itself, only measure the aftermath.
I love that song just because of the Globers always being like, "Well, Newton proves it. Newton. Well, okay, Einstein," and then they try to mix and match the two without understanding that both of them have already been debunked.
But it is nice for our Glober mates to have options. What are we going for today? Newtonian, Einsteinian, specific?
They kind of also reveal their education level, like by how much they go into it. Like, we don't hear the Globers talking about M theory or any of the other crazy theories that they have at the heights of academia. We just hear them say, well, Newton, because that's what they heard in elementary school.
To be honest with you, I couldn't tell you what they told us at school. Probably because the last time I was at school was about 30 years ago.
Yeah, you're right. It might not even be school. It might just be like they saw in a TV show, like, Newton discovered gravity. That's all it takes. Newton didn't discover gravity at all. He calculated the effect. And he was building on the concepts of Epicurus from Greece. So it's like, it wasn't even his idea. And by the end of it, he was like, do not ascribe this idea to me. Like, I think anybody who has any philosophical thinking would never fall into it. In other words, he thinks it's so dumb that anybody who is like intelligent, knows logic, would never fall for this belief. And please do not ascribe it to me. But yet, today, they all call it Newtonian gravity, so Newton would probably be rolling in his grave if he could. He didn't even publish it. It was Reverend Michel Cavendish and ZV Boys who published it after he died. So, like, they were just trying to taint his memory and, like, make him look like a dumbass for future generations. But apparently, people were too dumb by that point that they believed it. Granted, it's the effect is well calculated, and so it's well framed, and Newton had his credentials at the time, and so it's understandable that people would fall into it, but that's just using his authority to push it across, not on the merits of the argument. Because we have silence, I'll play this song because JJ from earlier, the Transformer, was telling us that optical gyroscopes proved rotation and tilt, so here's a song about that.
We map the motions, chart the arcs along the sky. A measurable effect that every model must comply. Numbers trace the fall, but not the reason underneath. The cause is still contested in the theories that we weave. Different rules, different clocks, different shapes of what is real. Each framework forms a world where its own principles can deal. Stay inside the framework, don't cross the boundary lines. Newton says absolutes, Einstein bends the shape of time. Both can match the measurements, but not each other's view. The cause behind the effect depends on which world you choose. Don't mix the maps together, keep the theories apart. When frameworks clash, the whole construction falls apart. Space, inertia lives in one preferred frame. Masses act at distance in an instantaneous chain. In Einstein's world, no forces push or pull a path. Objects trace geodesics through a curved space-time's aftermath. Shift the frame, shift the truth. What was force becomes a glide. Geometry or action, but you must pick one inside. Stay inside the framework, don't cross the boundary line. Newton holds center stage in space. Relativity redesigns, each predicts the motion, yet they disagree on cause. So keep the logic consistent with each theory's laws. Don't mix the maps together, keep the theories apart. When frameworks clash, the whole construction falls apart. Quantized loops and strings extend the list of what could be. Foam and brains and holographs reshape reality, but none can reconcile the classical and the small. Different scales, different rules, different languages to call. Stay inside the framework, don't cross the boundary lines. The fall is certain, but its origins undefined. All these modern theories paint a world of their design. Pick the one you're working in, keep the boundary well aligned. Don't mix the maps together, keep the theories apart. When frameworks clash, the whole construction falls apart. Measured effects are stable, causes remain unsure. Choose a model, stay coherent. Only then can truth endure.
Yeah, so that was the other Gravity song, which should go on the Gravity album, which should be like a. Currently, I'm gonna mass produce the songs, all go on FE Radio Volume 1, 2, and 3, and 4, or whatever, and then I'm gonna collect the songs together into like more like these songs all relate to gravity, these songs all relate to the horizon or optics or whatever it is. And then this is the song for the optical gyroscope.
Yo, I roll with the memes, but I don't vibe with the code. I'm a critical realist, I falsify by default. 15 degree, yeah. I see a sky rotation, but that's relative motion, not an earth spin proclamation. Optical gyros drift me till you climb elevation. Then the data goes rogue, breaks the model foundation. Optical anomalies, sad yak deviations. If the numbers don't align, that's a model violation. I ain't saying what it is, I'm eliminating what it ain't. This is empiricist logic, not belief, not faith. Ground too flat, then the cosmic ladder shakes. Radius wrong, then the whole sky map breaks. No assumption, no spin, the globe straight to the bin. I'm just cutting out the noise till the truth drops in. Detecting relative motion, that's Mach and Einstein. But Earth must spin is a non sequitur line. Local frame test can't pick the culprit out, so attribution claims, yeah, I black 'em out. Accelerometer silent, where the model needs shout. Where's the orbital pulse? We should all read out. Pendulum persists, then the Alice freaks. Anomalous blips when the shadows peak. Yo, that ain't proof, that's an open critique. I ain't saying what it is, I'm eliminating what it ain't. This is empiricist logic, not belief, not faith. Ground too flat, then the cosmic ladder shakes. Radius wrong, then the whole sky map breaks. No assumption, no spin, the globe straight to the bin. I'm just cutting out the noise till the truth drops in. Falsification is the blade, I'm a razor technician, stripping models to the frame like a clean demolition. If prediction keeps missing, I withdraw recognition. I don't pray to equations, I demand repetition. Repeatable, verifiable, data-driven derision. Every contradiction's ammunition for revision. This ain't a flat earth belief, it's a flat earth condition. Epistemic precision, empirical incision.
So I stand in the middle with the real technician, real left feet position, not belief but cognition, signal in the noise, I'm the pattern's mortician, killing every model with a failed prediction. When the data don't match, I revoke permission. That's empiricist logic, the only true mission. Peace out, 24/7 flat earth discord, where the globe goes to die.
I still like the end.
Yeah, I like that one. I like all of them. it's a similar topic, but I love this one.
Step in the lab, I'm a falsification hunter. Models break fast when the numbers pull asunder. Optical G on the climb, altitude test. Signal shifts sideways, put the theory under stress. Hold up. If Earth spins constant, drift should stay tight. But the waveform bends when I change the flight height. Why though? Empirical strike, I don't care who said what. If prediction don't match, then the premise gets caught. Snip, snip. Snip, snip. I don't claim what it is, I expose what it ain't. No data over doctrine, that's the realist saint. Facts hit harder than the models you paint. Boom, if the curve don't curve, then the scales feel faint. Too flat, no hypothesis flex, that's the stance I maintain. You can't crown a theory when the math shows strain. I'm the signal to noise king, clean domain. Empiricism only let the rest go drain. Pendulum swing, yeah, I clock that phase, but anomalies pop in eclipse time haze. Call it alleys, alias, whatever the craze. But the system misbehaves in repeatable ways. Accelerometers chill when the orbit should bite. No tangential pulse where the model needs might. You can't conjure motion from a theory and fry. You test it on the ground in the dark and the light. Let's go. Jealousy flatline based on too pure. Survey chains closed with a radius unsure. If the ground stays level way beyond the brochure, then the comment stack cracks, no foundations. I don't claim what it is, I expose what it ain't. Beta over doctrine, that's the realist saint. Facts hit harder than the models you paint. If the curve don't curve, then the scales feel faint. That's right. No hypothesis flex, that's the stance I maintain. You can't crown a theory when the math shows strain. I'm the signal to noise, king, clean domain. Empiricism only let the rest go drain. Fall back. Circular logic, yeah, I slice through claims. If the premise loops back, then I torch those frames. No assume spin, no narrative game. Show me raw data or retire your aim. Facts only. Frame invariant truth, that's the path I chase. Rotation relative, not a trophy for the play. If the cause ain't fixed, don't force it to the case. We revise, refine, never fall from grace. Keep sharp. Same belief, it's epistemic discipline. Scrutinize the roots till the false breaks thin. Foundation cracked, then the tower caves in. Cosmic scale trembles when the earth's not pinned. I'm a flat earth, but the real definition. Empirical, bigger, not a faith-based mission. No belief, follow data, conviction. That's the one true position. I'm the falsifier general, science, not tradition.
Yes, sir. That was cool, bro. That was cool. That was awesome. Like West Coast stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really good at it too.
I asked a question about the flat Earth. So, if the Earth is flat, are all the other planets in the solar system flat, or are they spherical? And just Earth is flat.
If Earth is
Oh, yeah.
flat, would Earth be flat or Earth be not flat if Earth was flat?
If Earth is flat, are the other planets in our solar system
Yeah, hold on,
flat as well?
Let's try to break it down. If the Earth is flat, if it's flat, is it flat or not flat? If it's flat,
Anna.
okay, dude, hold on. Try to think through your question here. You start off with if X, okay, a statement. If
I
X
don't know if
is
it's
true,
flat or not flat, so that's not the question.
but how would you go if flat then if you
Schrodinger's
don't
Earth
know?
is what
If
I'm
you
going.
don't,
Is what that means.
if you don't know what it is, then how would you know what it is if you don't know what it is? What would you do?
But
Go check.
That's not
Okay,
the important
let's
part of
check.
the question.
Let's check then. If you don't know Schrodinger's Earth, let's check the Earth and see what it is. Let's take an observation
It's not
of the
the important
surface.
part of the question
It
I'm
is.
asking
It's
you,
important
retard.
because if you
No, it's
don't
not.
know, you
I'm
check.
asking if the other planets, like
check.
fucking
Let's check.
Mars, is
Oh,
flat or not.
Let's check. Let's check what the Earth is, so you know.
Dude, you're completely missing the point of my
Yeah,
question.
let's check. Let's check. What is it? The
I'm not
Earth is
asking
what?
if the Earth is flat or not. It's not asking that. I'm asking if the other planets, like Mars, is flat.
Is it flat or not
I
flat?
don't know. I'm asking if the other
So
planets are flat.
If it's flat, then what is it?
Fine, though. Anyways, you clearly want to go on about something else. Not going to answer my question. Fuck
The
you.
Earth is flat, then it's flat. There's your answer to the question.
You broke that motherfucker proper. Oh shit. Oh damn, crit. Well,
That was awesome.
Yeah, sometimes it takes too long to try to explain to them. You know.
I bet that's not always the best method, but sometimes you just hear it in their voice. Like this dude's just an idiot.
Yeah, that was perfect.
The issue with them guys that come in and asking these kind of questions because they assuming that the Earth is a flat disk in outer space, just floating around. You know, that's what they're assuming, and that's the issue. One of the main issue. Hey, Flat Lawyer, I know you can hear us, brother. Should jump in and talk to us. Tricks, I got a question, brother. Hey, happened to that guy Blitz, whatever his name was.
Blitz, yeah, Blitz,
Yeah, Blitz.
PhD, yeah.
Blitz PhD, yeah.
Yeah, the neutrino guys.
That's the
Yeah,
one.
the trinos, yeah. Flat is a
Yep.
shape. Like, here, Blitz. I'm a Blitz. I'm a PhD in physics. In physics, the word flat is an adjective, but since I'm on YouTube, flat's a shape.
Yeah, from what I remember, he didn't present not even a single direct evidence of the Earth being a globe. Not even one.
Yeah,
Because
didn't
I
try.
step away for about 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there. So, and I didn't hear anything from him.
It was complete garbage. He framed it as some kind of discussion with a topic he's interested in, but then you go to his YouTube channel, it's been like about a third of his content is like anti-flat earth shit.
I see. And I think I remember that's also the same guy that was debating which it was 2 that one time. I think it was on a YouTube channel or something. Got modern day debate or something. That was the
Yeah.
same guy.
What
Yep.
happened that we didn't vet that thing. We just kind of assumed it was on the up and up because it was sponsored by the server. So no one really looked into this guy. But after the performance, it was like, wow, we should have really looked into who this dude was.
Yeah. I think maybe it should be round 2, Indio and him. That would be awesome.
He did that really cringe shit where he muted his Discord and said that he was muted, and then continued to talk to his YouTube audience while he was muted.
I see.
In other words, he doesn't listen to anything the other side says and just says some random stuff irrespective of what was said to him.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, what do you expect?
Well, I hope for intellectual honesty, but at this point, I know better than to expect that from a globe believer.
Like he had said on like the advertised, like, hey, this guy wants to have a discussion with flat earthers. He interested in what you gotta say. We'll go back and forth. And on his YouTube stream, whatever it was, I think it was YouTube, it had like debating flat earth. It, like, today I end the flat earth. Like it was completely just dog shit. Just like, complete dishonesty.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah,
Whoa.
come watch me wreck these flat earthers.
Oh, didn't he say something about? Oh, he's not. Wait, did he mention anything about debate at all? In when he jumped into the VC?
No. From our point of view, it was advertised like he wants to talk to someone who's like professional, like a good speaker, someone who's got some some high level knowledge and stuff. So we're like, oh yeah, Indio. They talked Indio.
Yep. Wow. So
Right.
so basically, what he the title that he had on YouTube was very dishonest.
Yeah.
Then. Okay, I see. Wow.
since we're just sitting in silence. Oh, he asks. He just wanted to know if you guys believe in spherical celestials. Well, it's not about belief, Nash. Respect. We're not in the habit of selling beliefs here. You have a belief about those celestials. We don't. We cannot verify what they are or how they are. We can only see from our limited perspective. His question was actually being engaged with. He was just too dumb to understand what was happening. So, Crit asked him, if the Earth is flat, well, then the Earth is flat, right? He's trying to get him to focus on the conditional in his first claim to understand that, well, your conditional has nothing to do with your assumptions about the celestials. If they are or not spherical has nothing to do with the Earth being flat or not. So it's just illogical.
You know what it reminds me of? There's a children's book called Are You My Mother?
Oh yeah, I remember that one now.
Yeah, those guys are like, they look in the stars. Are you my planet? Are you my Earth? Are you my Earth? Are you my Earth?
But it's getting late for me. I have one more song for you that Karma wrote. She didn't use AI or anything to write the text. Like I like using AI to help me come up with different wordings. So a lot of times there might be like a verse here or there that is AI.
Oh, Drace, I gotta send you something.
Ooh.
This is awesome. Dude said if we don't, dude DM me and said if we don't unban him, he's not even banned. He's incognito. He muted. He's gonna report the server. Fucking people.
For what?
You for banning him, apparently. He's an important person. I don't know. No, he said he told Degas, he was spreading misinformation. Degas was like, because the guy showed a picture of a crashed Satelloon in the ground, and he said, you're spreading misinformation, and then the guys got the actual thing that it was NASA's. And then he's like, okay, recant what you said. And he wouldn't. So God sent him the Cogdis, and then in there he still wouldn't recant. So he also muted him. And then he whined to me.
Just pathetic.
Yep.
Hello?
Yep.
So, Crit, you still here?
Yeah.
So, why did why did the Soviet Union launch Sputnik again? What was the point? It wasn't useful for anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think they tried to say like theirs was actually some sort of scientific endeavor, but it freaked people out because it was like a hollowed out nuclear warhead. They just did it because they see it wasn't possible.
I mean, it's like it's weird to me that nobody like it didn't seem like anybody was talking about doing anything like that, and then just like boom, it's in the papers, right?
Yeah.
No one had any idea of anything like that even happening or being possible. Like the mainstream, ordinary, run-of-the-mill person, they did not think there was going to be anything. They didn't really know about rockets. That wasn't even really a thing.
No, the whole thing was just complete sci-fi fantasy.
Well, Gemini, well, Google's freaking AI, whatever it's using. Soviet launched Sputnik for several reasons, primarily to demonstrate the technological superiority during the Cold War and to beat the United States in the race to launch the first satellite for the International Geophysical Year. Was that actually a race? That, like, it was a race nobody knew about?
Yeah, like like it started off like here. He said, "Okay, let's race." Okay, when? It already started. We did Sputnik. Huh.
Now we're racing.
Yeah.
Thanks for the head start.
And go.
Yeah, I can't find anything on it, really. I find speculation, right? But like, what did the Soviet Union say? Like,
Yeah, it's kind of vague at the whole time, and
because usually, regardless of what they say, what you think about, like, all governments do propaganda, but they pretty much tell the truth when they do something like that. Even though, like, even though they tell the truth and people read some interpretation of what they really mean, like they usually say, we did this to do a telecommunication satellite. We did this to, their purpose. But I never remember getting like what the point was. Because if you look at Sputnik, right, it was just basically a silver ball with freaking 3 antennas sticking off of it. It wasn't useful for it, and it just beeped. Right?
yeah,
That's what
just
they
a
say.
hollowed out nuclear warhead, like an implosion device. Didn't
That's
have
what
any
it
real
was?
purpose. Yeah, like how they have like in the middle of it would be like plutonium or uranium. It would be to implode.
They just sent a shell,
Just
basically, with
yeah,
antennas
just a
soldered to it.
yeah.
I used to this collaboration thing, like everybody. I mean, I remember like Soviet Union. They're just propaganda. Their people are so misinformed. They don't do anything. They're under a complete totalitarian control. Their government does nothing but lie to them. No one like. I remember it used to be a joke, like
Yeah,
Pravda. That was
the
like a
whole
joke.
the whole Rush
Yeah.
Reagan, Reagan's whole joke about like even the people in Russia know that Russia is all full of shit.
So was the movie Airplane. So there's a scene where they're like doing segments of the airplane going to crash, and they show like news reporters for other countries, and they're like they get like a how back then they'd give the the reporter the frickin' a sheet of paper, and they'd be like, this is breaking, this new story just given to me, and blah blah blah. So they have a segment where it's like a Japanese guy, a Mexican guy, and then it switches to a Russian guy, and he's got like a gun to his head. There's just like a hand from off the screen with a gun to his head, reading the news.
That's right. I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
As if that wasn't happening here.
I know it's even worse here. I mean, they had like
They're better at it.
just
We're way better at it. We are so much better. I think America is the most delusional country in the world.
It's like when that I came across just you always trust your algorithm. You know, just going through like YouTube shorts and stuff. And I came across this one just today, mind you, like that a song for I think Metallica, was it like Injustice for All or Justice for All or something like that?
Yeah, justice for all.
Yeah, and it shows a bunch of like the people throwing like ropes onto the Lady Justice and pulling it down. Like it kind of implying that the government didn't need to do shit. They just kind of stood back and watched the people rip the justice system down on their own.
Yeah. I mean, it's just the way it is. You know, Fred Bastide, he's a French philosopher. He was a real freaking G, dude. He actually believed in freedom. He wasn't like, he recognized that the government fundamentally is, it's wrong. Like there's nothing like, there's nothing, you can't fix it. Just even having one has no real moral authority.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to say if people really understood that there's nothing the government can do that isn't enumerated from the people first. So anytime the government does something, do the citizens have the same power to do that? And if you can't do that, then the government shouldn't be able to do it either.
I gotta read all this. When then will plunder cease? When it becomes more onerous or more dangerous than work? It is in the nature of men to react against injustice of which they are victims. Therefore, when plunder is organized by law for the profit of the classes that make it, all the plundered classes attempt to have a say in the making of the laws by either peaceful or revolutionary means. Depending on the level of enlightenment which they have attained, these classes may set themselves two very different aims when they seek their political rights in this way. They may either wish to stop legal plunder, or they may aspire to take part in it. We're in the realm of they aspire to take part in it. Nobody's even trying to stop it anymore. And that's like what you said, they're going to rip justice down. Oh, I can't get justice? Go just rip justice down. I'll just be a criminal too. But I was just thinking, like the Soviet Union, like That was done, obviously, to propagandize their population. And the United States said, "Oh, here's an opportunity. We can brainwash our citizens." People keep forget, like, all these guys during the International Geophysical Year, all these countries got together and colluded to do a bunch of crap. And the space program came out of that. This was a post-World War II collusion. Like, conspiracies don't exist. The fucking United Nations is a goddamn conspiracy.
Yes, I can't remember who I was talking to. It's one of the globalists. It's one of the GF6 guys. Maybe it was Gamma. I can't remember which one it was. But I had him pause for a minute. He said, like, he couldn't figure out why Russia wouldn't have said something about Nixon landing on the moon. At that time, the Cold War, you had they're fighting proxies. I go, what if it was as simple as this? Nixon did horse trading. Give me a victory in space, I'll give you a victory in Vietnam.
Well,
and then the dude was like, oh,
fucked up.
He's like, oh shit, like that kind of, he's like, that sort of makes sense.
Well, Russia back then was doing what the U.S. does now. They were making tons of money off of selling military equipment. They made a fortune off that. What the hell was the Vietnamese fighting with? But everybody decided to arm themselves, not just Vietnam. The Chinese decided to arm themselves. The frickin' the Cambodians decided to arm themselves. The Thailand decided to arm themselves. Soviet Union was dumping massive amounts of weapons into Southeast Asia. They were selling the Vietnamese MiGs and anti-aircraft weapons. It wasn't charity. That's the crazy thing, dude, of like the propaganda, right? The domino theory.
Yeah.
The Soviet Union is just helping them out. And like they're helping, like they're not giving them weapons, they're selling them to them.
Hey, Indio,
that's their only motivation is to make cash. What was that?
My papa used to fly one of those MiGs, MiG-21.
Your papa?
Yeah.
Your daddy?
Yeah. My real daddy, not you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not your dad.
Well,
no, I could be. I used to drink. Anyway, I'm only kidding, dude. Don't take it personal.
I call you daddy sometimes,
That's like talk. I tried to talk about your mother without actually talking about your mother. It's a backdoor.
Oh yeah.
Your dad used to fly a MiG? Are you being for real?
Yeah.
Or are you just pulling our leg?
I'm serious. MiG-21.
MiG-21?
Yeah.
Is that Vietnam? That's not a Vietnam era plane, is it? That's a 80s era.
The MiG-21 is Vietnam. The MiG-29 is 80s.
MiG-21 versus F-4 Phantom. That was the big duel. And this guy's over Vietnam.
I thought the MiG was better.
The MiGs
they were having problems with the MiGs.
The F-4s didn't. Or at least the early versions.
Different purpose, MiG-20. My dad used to say in a MiG-21 you had two choices. You could take fuel or you could take weapons. But you couldn't take both.
Weren't they a lot faster?
Mm-hmm.
They had a higher... Did they have a ridiculous rate of climb or something?
Yeah, it was an interceptor. It was supposed to go up, shoot the missiles would miss, and then it would come and land. That was the plan of action for the MiG-21.
The missiles would miss.
Well, yeah. So you go up, you say, Zaradino, Zastalino, whatever. You shoot the missiles, you land, and you don't go to Gulag. That was the plan. Go up, look brave.
Gulag. Couldn't read what's fucking Solzhenitsyn.
You wish.
You know that's a work of fiction, right? That wasn't an autobiography.
Well, he says in the book what it is.
Yeah, a work of fiction.
A work based on him.
Because he didn't want to go back to the Gulag, so this is what they say. He didn't want to go back to the Gulag, so he had to say it was fiction.
Indio, did you read it? Did you read?
I would never read such a book.
Okay, I did. So maybe You know, you want to ask me some questions about what's in it, or
Did you read it in Russian?
no?
Okay, then I'll ask somebody that reads it in Russian, because that's where I get what I just said from it. Someone that's read it in Russian, who I did interrogate.
You're so funny. I could read
Well,
it
I
in
mean,
Russian, but it would take me
you
forever.
you don't even like Russians. Why would I believe you? You've already admitted it. You freaking can't stand Russia.
Я говорю
All right,
по-русски,
hold
я
on. Let me ask
читаю
you: are
по-русски.
Russians European?
Russians?
Yeah, are they European?
In what sense? Culturally?
Are they European? You know what sense? If I asked you, are Belgian
barely,
people
barely.
European?
Barely.
Barely. It's the largest country in Europe.
Okay, geographically, yes.
Yeah, the largest country in Europe.
Yeah, geographically.
So yeah, you're European. It's fucking Europe.
Okay, India.
Smaller, all the other countries, they're less European than Russia is.
Oh, okay, okay then.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's very.
I was just pointing out your your I don't know what it wouldn't be racism. I guess it would be called cultural bigotry, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be, I don't judge you. Like fucking, you probably know more Russians than I do. So.
Конечно, я говорю по-русски тоже, читаю по-русски.
God, she's a double agent and shit. Holy shit. That was pretty good Russian.
Thank you. Спасибо.
Did I ever tell you that, like, during the 80s, there was, like, a cultural exchange program, and they had a bunch of people, like, high school students come from the Soviet Union to my high school. And, dude, it was so crazy, dude. They were dressed like, it couldn't have been real. They were dressed like the freaking the 1930s, like they were out there with the sickle fucking chopping down wheat. It was like completely not real. Like they're wearing like head covers and like freaking clothes that looked like they sewed themselves. Like,
oh, okay. You know who that was?
It's freaking probably the marching band. I don't know who.
So, a lot of people from Russia and Ukraine, who you would have seen in the 80s in America, were not regular Russians. There were people who got asylum based on religious persecution. It's really freaky if you think about it. So a lot of Ukrainians and Russians who moved here in the 80s and 90s were not Orthodox Christians. They were some kind of weirdo Protestant, whoever, like the German and American missionaries that went to the Soviet Union to convert people to these like wacky religions. They converted some people, and then those people were illegal as far as Soviet law was concerned. It was illegal to be of an unsanctioned religion,
Couldn't
like
be a
Jehovah's
Baptist.
Witness or whatever. Right? You had to be an approved, like church, like Muslim or Orthodox or maybe Catholic, whatever was approved by the state. So the Americans granted a lot of people asylums based on religious persecution. So you would see people like women wearing those like head covers, kind of like not Mormon, but like Amish women, that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, but these were like foreign exchange students. They were like sanctioned by the government, I assume.
Well, I'm telling you, man.
You know, they
I
don't tell
knew
us a
that-
lot. I was only like in 8th grade or something, so.
Well, anyways, if you're interested, I could explain this to you. But
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I get it. It just, I don't know. They didn't sell it to us that way.
Yeah, but I knew these communities in California and Washington State, and I used to tell them, I knew they were Ukrainian and whatnot. I was like, "Oh, you're Orthodox." They're like, "No, we're like Shema the Baba, some church of some bearded guy, random weirdo Christians, all of them." Yeah.
Why is there so many divorces in Russia?
Well,
The
you should
divorce
leave
rate in Russia is ridiculous, dude.
Well, you should hang out with some Russian men, and then you would know.
Is it that bad?
You think I'm joking?
Then how did they end up married in the first place?
Because there's like 2 women for every man.
Is it that bad?
I'm
fucking moving to Russia. What the fuck, dude? I'll have it made.
Well, you should. The only thing you need to do is not be a complete alcoholic and, maybe be
I
gentle
don't
on
drink.
domestic violence.
They'll think something's wrong with me if I don't drink. I'll have
They
to start
will,
drinking
but
a little.
most Russian men drink themselves to death by age of like 35 or something.
I thought
So
they
there's a
stopped
big...
that.
No,
I thought that trend has reversed.
you think a
I
lot
thought
of
it peaked in the
things.
90s or something.
All right, just
When
look at the statistics. They have super high
yeah,
suicide rates. It's just the way it is. And there's an imbalance between men and women, like significant imbalance. So as long as you have half of your teeth and you walk straight, 3 days out of the week, you're a good, you're a husband candidate. Sure.
And how do they have so many people that like can do advanced mathematics? This isn't like making sense to me.
Well, they have a little bit of a tradition of.
How do you do mathematics drunk? I don't get that. How are you doing
don't,
that?
but you could take 120 million people and have some kind of, one thing that the Soviets did do well was combat illiteracy and deploy, public education. So statistically speaking, you're going to get some good people. I work with some
God.
smart Russians.
Thank you, Peter. Freaking hit the mother load. 86 males per 100 females. That's
There you go.
off the freaking chart.
I know, right?
Oh, God. How come they're not whores?
What? They are.
They are?
make
They
the
don't act
most
like whores when I
pornographic
see them
content.
being interviewed.
Yeah, just Google, who makes the most pornographic content on the internet, which countries, and Russia's
I thought that was Czechoslovakia.
What's it? Yeah, then it's them, and then there's the Russians.
That was like Czechoslovakia, then Ukraine.
And
then
newsflash,
probably
Czechoslovakia doesn't
America.
exist, but okay.
The Czech Republic, sorry.
Yeah.
They make the best porn. Sorry. That's just my opinion.
I'm not gonna.
Though I wish I could understand what the fuck they were saying.
No, you don't.
You're probably right. I probably don't. They don't even need to speak. They're gorgeous, though. Now, do they? That's the thing I've noticed about Ukrainian women. Like, when I see the older ones, they look freaking bricked. But, like, the younger ones, pretty good looking. How are they going from being that good looking to basically being a dog in 30 years?
Living in a shithole country will do that to you, India.
Yeah, I guess.
You're spoiled here in America. You take things for granted.
Well, that's why I'm asking questions, trying to understand how spoiled I am. I'm not an elitist snob.
Well, you live in the greatest country in the world, so you're pretty spoiled.
Oh, I heard that before. How do you know Canada's not the greatest country in the world?
Because I've been there.
Oh, really? Did you live there?
Mm-hmm. No.
Have you been to Quebec? That's like a whole nother country.
Closest I've been was Ottawa. It's on the border.
I think maybe Iceland, dude. Iceland's up there. I mean, depends on what you want. You know what I mean? Depends on what you're looking for.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for bright lights, big city, frickin', I guess America would probably be the best. Those other countries, I'm very confused about the sexual relations of other countries. The sexual dynamic. It seems.
Let me be your guide into the world, Indio.
Well, I mean, I look at some countries like Japan, and like, I don't know what the hell's happening over there.
Yeah, they're weird.
I look at birth rates, and then we look at like, what country has the most sex? I don't know that. It's got to be Africa. Duh.
Have you ever been to Japan?
No. I've never been out of the United States.
Oh. Are you on the no-fly list?
Probably. I'll probably find out next week. I wouldn't doubt it. I'm probably on the no public transportation fucking list.
Yeah.
They don't care what I do, Peter. I didn't publish any papers.
Well, I still have a GoFundMe for you to
No, I
publish it.
could fucking fake my ass and convince all you dumb fucks that I'm peer reviewed and published. Because there's somebody
yeah.
with my name, exact name, that has hundreds of publications.
Well, his name is Indio.
Yeah, that's what it is. Exactly. You figured it out. My real name, bro.
I love you, man. You're like 100
Well, I'm
years
sitting here
from now.
telling you I could just like completely bamboozle everybody, dude.
Can I tell you something, Indio?
Yeah.
200 years from now, when some poor schmuck is doing a PhD on what, the first quarter of the 21st century looked like, and he's doing a PhD on that in history, he's going to have a whole chapter about you as the epitome of the internet, 21st century internet persona. Yeah,
well,
an expert in everything, from the art of law
no, I don't even
to
claim
nuclear
that, bro.
physics. Yeah.
I don't claim expertise in everything.
Oh yeah. He's gonna.
I don't even know what the word expertise means anymore. What does expertise even encompass? How do you know whether someone's an expert or not? Everybody else tells them they're an expert. Like, what is it? How does that work?
Hours in a given field.
Is that who made that? What if you spend 1 hour less? You're not an expert.
No, it's just a rule of thumb, Indio.
Yeah, it's an arbitrary, subjective nonsense. See, this is if I start anything, Peter, they're gonna write about like this dude was like he was not taking objective nonsense. Well, people make claims, subjective claims, when they have no objective metric. There's no objective metric for what makes someone an expert or not. It's
Cry me a river.
Well, I mean, this is the truth, right? It's just there's no there's a social reason that people want to be called experts.
Okay,
right?
Let me ask you a question. Am I an expert on flat Earth?
No.
Of course I am.
I've been around long
Are
enough.
you?
I mean, depends on what you mean by in what sense.
Oh, how do you feel about it? Are you?
All I have is one. How do I mean? I want to consider myself an expert. I would just say I've been around and I know I've seen.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
I'm aware of a bunch of different communities, but I don't know like what's going on in Spain or Brazil or even places in here. Any place that speaks a foreign country or a foreign language. I know people here and there in different countries. You think we're the only people in the world, bro, that deal with this?
No. I hosted a space on Twitter yesterday with Polish flat earthers. It was fun.
Like, we're missing like all of Southeast Asia, all of India. I mean, occasionally we get some on English Hub that are speds, but they're not like flat earthers. Like, but then you have to factor in, there's a lot of people that don't even have time to think about this because they're subsistence living. They might think the earth is flat, but they're not going to be on the internet talking about it, that's for sure.
Good point. It's a little bit of a first world type of community.
So I've come up with this test I've been using, really, where people try to present us evidence of a globe, and I'm going to start. I'm going to name it officially right now. You get to witness. It's going to be called the Amazonian rainforest test, and the test is you claim something's evidence. Well, if you pulled someone out of the Amazonian rainforest that had no contact with the outside world, would this evidence convince them that the Earth's a globe? So Ice JJ Fish or whatever his freaking name is came in here and was like, look at this picture. And Heretic said, how do I know that's the Earth? And he said, well, it's obvious. So I asked him, I said, if I grab someone out of the Amazon rainforest and you showed them that, what would they say it is?
They would say it's a drawing. I've never seen a photograph.
Well, he wouldn't be able to say he wouldn't even come to his mind that was the Earth. It wouldn't even enter his mind for freaking a millisecond.
Yeah,
so
but
it's not obvious.
Think Airplanes are, chariots of gods.
Yeah, that's fine, dude. You're just taking the piss now. Okay.
They do.
Maybe they do. Who cares? That's irrelevant to
I've
this.
read books from people who went into the Amazon forest and interacted with the tribes that don't interact with the civilization. And that's literally what they think. They think it's gods flying in the sky.
Okay, that's fine. But that has nothing to do with whether some image is obviously the Earth.
No, I know, but how would they know anything else? I'm just kind of steel manning your point. They've never seen an airplane. They don't know about the aerodynamics. They don't know that things can fly.
That's fine, but if you never heard the Earth was a globe and I showed you the picture, you wouldn't think it's the Earth. There's nothing to associate with those images to what you experience in everyday life.
Because they've never seen a map of Africa. If I show you an Earth with the shape of Africa on it, they're going to go like, I recognize Africa. They're not.
How would you? You don't recognize Africa. You're told that's what Africa looks like over and over again. So you think that's what Africa looks like. You have no idea if that's actually what Africa looks like.
That is true, but what I'm saying is by the association with maps. I've seen maps.
Yeah.
Not saying I know they're right, but I've seen them. So I go like, oh, okay, that's similar. They don't even have that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I know that. But there's a whole bunch of shit they got you don't got. That's neither here nor there. It's not like they're dead. They're alive. They have experiences you don't have. And if you went in the Amazon rainforest, you'd be freaking and you'd be a corpse in fucking 3 days. So, and if they came out of the forest, they'd probably be a corpse in freaking 3 days too.
Bro, I'm just strengthening your point. I don't know why you're trying to convince me.
No, you're deflecting from the point. The point is that images from Earth, you have no reference. There's no way to know if that's what the Earth even looks like. Even if you said, hey, yeah, I believe in space. I believe you can go really high up. But how do you know that's what the Earth looks like?
That's true. I know. We only are convinced by those photos because we are accustomed to similar images, such as maps.
Okay. Now, I have a whole thesis going on that, not a thesis. Yeah, I guess a thesis. That the globe, if you, are you familiar with Boudreaux?
Who? Woodrow Wilson?
The French philosopher. Jean Boudreaux.
Jean what?
Jean Boudreaux. I can't say his name, dude. I don't speak French. Goddamn, Mick would be killing me.
Come on, try it.
Buddha Judge?
No, not Buddha Judge.
Jesus Christ.
He wrote Smoker and Simulation.
Okay.
The book that's in the Matrix. Neo's got his little floppy disk hiding inside of.
Yeah, Indio, by the way, you're right. You failed. Miserably.
I know. It's horrible. Dude, I told you I failed French.
I think you're trying to pronounce Jean Boudreaux. Right?
Yes, that's it. Never going to happen.
Yeah, doesn't sound like it. Yeah, Boudreaux.
Yeah, so Boudreaux said the fourth stage. So there's stages of the simulation, which we're going into sign order and the stages of our how we're really abstracting reality. And first stage is a faithful image or copy. Second stage is a perversion of reality, where people come to believe that the sign is an unfaithful copy. Okay, that would be like Picasso or something like that. Right. It's a face, but it's not really a face. Distorted face. But he's trying to make a picture of a face. So, third stage, mask the absence of a profound reality, where the sign pretends to be a faithful copy, but is a copy with no original. This would be something like AI generated images. But the fourth stage is pure simulacrum, in which the simulacrum has no relationship to any reality whatsoever. Here, signs merely reflect other signs. And any claim to reality on the part of images or signs is only of the order of other such claims. That's what the globe images are. So that's the funny thing is, we're like in the third stage, but we've been preceded. There's like an advanced party called the globe to mentally condition people to accept claims that are only references to other things, which are also claims. So you have a globe, an image of what you think they say is a globe, and then you go, is that realistic? And then you have to think of an image, some other image of a globe that also you don't know is real, that you can only appeal to some other image. So it's just a sign referring to some other sign.
Indio.
And there's no fundamental, you can't dig any fundamental reality out of these images, is what I'm saying.
Indio, imagine hypothetically, right? Everything you're saying is very deep and very thoughtful. But imagine this. And I'm just saying this hypothetically, so don't yell at me.
Yeah, of course.
Imagine this.
I'm not guaranteeing.
Imagine that through some unspecified mechanism, somebody clearly demonstrated to you that whatever it was, 1972 blue marble photograph was actually taken without any cheating by people on a spaceship. Like, don't ask me how they convinced you, but you got illuminated.
It's not about me being convinced. Right. Why is it always, you always leap to the subjectivity of the human mind?
No. But
there's definitive proof that's irrefutable, and it doesn't matter what I think or there's not.
So let's say you saw that proof. Right?
Okay.
And that proof told you just that this photograph is a true, unmanipulated depiction of the Earth.
Okay.
The entire thing, the entire edifice that you just built of all these things just go
it only eliminates the fourth stage advanced party. The other stuff is still true.
Okay.
My thesis is the globe. So humanity's headed toward this fourth stage of pure simulacrum. And like this is almost undeniable now with the AI generating artificial images. Eventually, right, Peter? What's going to happen? Is the AI is going to be trained on other AI?
Yeah.
So say you have nothing but AI generated images and you train an AI on the AI generated images. When that creates an image, what does it reference? Anything in reality?
No.
Okay, then. That's my point. And that this globe thing is an advantage.
And take a photo of the beach. And as long as
that's pretty much already happened, though.
Your friends that you actually took the photo, they're going to go, okay, that's what the beach looked like that day.
Are you missing the point intentionally? Or are you just like obtuse? Okay.
I mean, AI generating other AI images.
God damn, I got to turn you down, man. Holy Jesus. Is she loud for me or everybody?
Yeah, for everybody.
I'm sorry. Do you want me to turn down my input?
She wants to deliver her manifesto.
Hold on. Let me turn. Is that better?
Yep. Yeah, a tad higher, just a little tad.
Is that better?
Yes. Lovely. It's like we're in the room
wait,
together.
hold on. Is that better?
Yes. It was better the first time. The third time. Anyway,
okay,
Peter.
I'm just
let me address what Peter said. Well, hold on, Owlish. Just let me. Peter, it would only prove the globe is an advanced party for the ultimate fourth stage of pure simulation. That's all that would disprove.
Okay.
We'd still be in the basic same predicament. The globe doesn't cure any freaking, the flat Earth versus the globe. We're not trying to cure any problems. Okay. Regardless, our claims that we make are based upon empiricism and digging down, and people, if anything, flat Earth is showing is that people fucking hate empiricism. They like their stories.
Yeah. Yeah, nobody has time or patience for everything out over empirical data. That's true.
Yeah, and they're just running around, freaking throwing a Hail Mary, hoping everybody can actually back up their claims.
Yeah, bro. I was watching like physics videos today, and 15 minutes into it, my head was spinning from all these freaking equations. I'm like, give me a break. Tell me a story.
Yeah, but Peter, the ultimate test of whether those equations even matter is to go in the lab, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing that. I'm not freaking looking over spreadsheets for years at a time.
Spreadsheets. Why would you have to look over spreadsheets?
Well, that's your test data, right?
It shouldn't take years to demonstrate the fundamental physics. You're just playing with fucking numbers and doing statistical jerking off.
I know.
There's lies, damn lies, in statistics. Anyway, go ahead, Owlish. Sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, these TikTok people need to like take a leaf out of your book and actually learn what they're talking about because they're very ill-informed.
I thought you
Also,
wanted
what
to
was
talk about
I?
the AI being
Oh,
trained
right.
on
Okay.
AI.
So, like, you understand, like, like, you know about the dead internet theory, right?
Yes, I'm
It has
aware
to do
of
with
it.
AI. Yeah, that's genuinely like the theory that AI is now feeding off of itself because there's that theory that the images that are generated have taken on this like really weird aesthetic of being mostly looking like Studio Ghibli films because it has like a very yellowish hue because it started feeding off of itself. So we already know that that's a thing. That's why I don't use AI.
If I may add to that, Owlish, the whole the dead internet theory thing predates AI. If you really think about it, right? The criteria for the dead internet theory is a matter of the content being human or not. So even if you have a stupid bot, right, just an algorithm spitting shit out, pre-programmed or not, right, using simple algorithms that just type shit in, technically that qualifies. So if you have algorithms going on Facebook and just typing shit in and hitting enter, that that material adds to that. You know what I mean? And
Well,
that goes back a long
sure.
fucking time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but how is that any different than the freaking supposedly conscious, intellectual, human being monkeys that just smash their keyboard and type? Someone said this, right? There's AI slop, but there's also human slop.
Of course,
generated by humans.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Think about all the baby
I just wanted to add. I just wanted to put that out there because like this whole thing, this dead internet theory thing was, a problem a long time ago. It's not
Thank
just
you for the
in recent
clarification.
time.
Thank you.
Yeah, I understand it has to do with bots as well, but
Yeah.
like the bots also
Yeah.
feed off of each other and generate more. I mean, yeah, it all comes together all itself, and Facebook is basically just generating its own AI images and then reacting to itself and producing its
Here's my
own
question.
accounts.
If we somehow by some magic could delete all the machine created content on the internet, would the internet fit on my hard drive?
Maybe.
There'd be nothing left to just be like, if all that was left is what people wrote the internet would be very sparse.
How big is your hard drive?
I think I got a terabyte or something.
That's it? No, it won't fit.
Well, I mean, I got a couple
Indio's on a budget.
drives, dude. No, I got a couple hard drives, actually.
Oh, anything fun on them? Like, are you like storing cool information, like videos and stuff? Do you have like?
What do you mean? Actually, it might be 2 terabytes.
He has a folder. He has a folder called Globe Proof, but it's zero bytes.
Oh, that sucks. No. I mean, like some people store like a lot of like movies and like photos, family photos and stuff on just like external drives or just like.
Oh no, I store like that type of stuff.
Or games and stuff
in several cloud providers. I've got stuff I got like photographs from like 2005 that are on the internet. I got shit that goes way back that's on the internet in different types of cloud things. You got to do a whole bunch because that company may be out of business. So it's my experience, at least.
Talk to you later, Indio. Stay safe.
Yeah,
Alright.
why don't you
Later,
put it on
you
an
too.
air gap system? Why don't you just put it in an air gap system? Or
Because then I
don't,
have to
like,
carry
why
it
don't you have
around.
your own
I
independent
like it being
server?
accessible anywhere. It's very convenient.
I mean, you can create your own server and have it accessible.
Yeah, I know that. Look, dude, I'm a freaking ghost. You don't understand.
No, I know you're like technologically inclined to the point where you could make that happen. So that's why I'm asking why you haven't, why you don't. I mean, I know why I don't. It's because I'm lazy, but
Look, I would say my philosophy is this. Well, I've lost a lot of data. I'm a digital pack rat, but I can rebuild it all pretty quickly from just probably almost memory. I do have some offline stuff stored on hard drives and laptops that I don't use. So the shit's everywhere. But I mean, as far as stuff, I don't really value the stuff as in like, I probably value the freaking candle across the room more than I value the digital information. Because that's all retrievable. I can get all that back. Like, listen, if I delete some PDF off my computer, I know how I found it originally. I can just go find it again. The thing that isn't convenient are videos that get nuked. Now, those I do download a lot of videos, but I don't download them in full resolution, so I download them usually in 360p,
not even 480,
not even 480.
360. Oh my god, I don't even know if you
Dude,
can
typically,
download things in
YouTube uses
360
compression
anymore.
anyway, dude. You're not doing video analysis on the trash that's on YouTube.
Well, usually it's like the minimum. Usually the minimum is 480, but I don't know. Maybe
I use
360
I
is the
use
minimum.
JDownloader to download off of YouTube. It lets you download in 360.
Oh, okay.
You can download in like 144p. No, I've never tried it.
That's crazy. That's basically audio only.
Typically, I only need the audio. A lot of times. I mean, there are videos, but like, a lot of stuff on YouTube, there's a limited like visual analysis you can do on the video itself. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Depends on how, like, maybe if they uploaded it in 4K or something.
I mean, like, your phone can now shoot in 4K, so.
I don't do bleeding edge shit anymore. I don't really care that much anymore. I have like a freaking iPhone XR. I don't have like an iPhone 16 or whatever they're up to.
Oh, a what?
What are they up to? What iPhone they up to now?
17.
17. I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I'm still a year behind.
I just got the 17 because I had the 13 before, I believe.
I'm not a big fan of
And
cell phones generally, is my problem.
And you had an iPhone? I thought you would be like
I
an
just don't like
Android
carrying them
guy.
around. It's annoying. They're just annoying. I don't like them.
Yeah, I mean, I get you. I thought
I'm
you
a
would be
very
an Android
minimalist
guy.
person. Like, it's my
Oh, okay.
personality is minimalist. Having to carry around something, it's like, I don't want to, but I've been doing it for, I don't know, 20 years now. But I even delayed getting like a smartphone for a long time. I just had a flip phone.
The phones are neat. I like them.
Fucking battery lasts forever.
Mm-hmm. I miss phones with a keyboard, personally. I
Yeah,
yearn for those days again.
I think you can still buy some, can't you? But
Yeah,
like
you
you
can
could,
buy like
the
BlackBerry.
keyboard's the only good part of the phone. The rest of it sucks.
Yeah, like BlackBerry, I think just like remodernized its platform. It has like sells some devices that are compatible with like today's 5G, 4G networks. So because a lot of phones are no longer compatible with those networks, but or don't support those networks. think
You don't.
they
Do,
discontinued.
were you around for Push
3G.
to Talk?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That was fucking badass. I don't know why they
Yeah,
nuked
like the
that.
Sprint thing. Like the
Yeah.
Sprint push to talk. Yeah.
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 Exactly that.
I never had that, but yeah.
Yep, they got bought and then they just freaking spiked it, just flushed it. What was Nextel? What happened was Nextel. It was on the Nextel network. Sprint bought Nextel, and then Sprint had it for a little while. You could get it with Boost because they owned Boost Mobile, and then they nuked it.
Hmm. I didn't know the logistics behind that, but yeah, it's
They didn't want to
pretty
like
cool.
maintain. It had like some slightly different infrastructure, and they didn't want to maintain it or something. I think what they said. We want to upgrade. That's what they say, right? For safety and security, we're going to upgrade everything. So all our old products, we're going to get rid of, and we're going to charge you more money for this new trash. It was just awesome to have Push to Talk. I bet you there's an app, Push to Talk app.
Yeah, it's called Discord.
Funny. But it's cool.
I
You
mean,
could
is
put
it
like
not?
10 numbers in, right? And you would just scroll to like the 4-digit. You could just punch in the 4-digit number, hit the button, and just start talking to the person. It was like a walkie-talkie. It was fucking great.
I mean, you can still kind of do that. You can send voice memos to people, so it kind of is the same thing. I mean, the voice memos don't like play immediately, but if you send someone a message, it will come up as a voice memo.
Yeah, it was just cool.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a cool thing.
Best thing would be like a freaking BlackBerry with a keyboard. They had the T-Mobile Sidekick, so it's like a phone, and then it would slide apart, and like it would be like a keyboard. You ever seen one?
I always wanted one of those. I always
Yeah, so
wanted
did I. I couldn't
one.
afford that shit. Those were like $800 or some shit.
Really? Wow. No,
So it'd be like
I know
it
my
would be
friends
like
got one, but
no, it was it. I remember back then it really wasn't. The phone was expensive, but T-Mobile service was ridiculously priced back then.
yeah.
Because
Like I didn't have
I
T-Mobile.
got my boys T-Mobile service. I ended up with like a $300 bill for the month. And I'm like, what the flying fuck? And
That's a
they didn't
lot.
even do anything. They didn't do anything crazy. Is that T-Mobile's roaming? So they were going away to like they're going away to out of network. And they ended up using their phones out of network and ended up costing like $300. That was back when there was roaming charges and stuff.
I remember that. I remember roaming charges. Like you can go a certain distance outside of your like what is it like your area code or whatever.
Yeah, you had to be in
Or else it was
network
like
coverage in
roaming.
one of the towers. You had to be.
Yeah, it was
But they could
really
be
very
anywhere.
strict.
Well, I mean,
remember you
I'm
would go to
old.
like a
I
state
remember
over.
like you could literally be if you a long distance phone call to call somebody across the street. Okay.
Yeah, there was that, but like if you went like a state over, you would instantly be in roaming. It was like super frustrating
Yeah.
because then it would be like extra money to even send text messages.
Text. Yeah. Don't get me started on a text message fucking thing, bro.
Well, you had to pay for that.
Yeah. This is the biggest rip off. It was the biggest fucking markup in the history of business.
Yeah,
Think about it for a second. You're limited to what was it? To 120 characters? How much data is that?
we like
How many texts can you
0.01.
send? How many 120 character texts can you send for the data equivalent of a 1-second phone call? Okay, think
0.1
about that.
kilobyte. 0.1.
Yeah, you can send like 1,000 texts for the equivalent of a 1-second phone call. That's how bad they were ripping people off because they were giving you like 400 text messages in a month, right?
Yeah, and
That's
then
less
there was
than
like
1 second
3
of a phone
hours.
call.
Yeah. Do you remember like the free hours where like nights and weekends you could like
Oh yeah,
call for
nights and
free?
weekends. What
Like,
a
oh, I
freaking,
can't
what
call
a
you
great
until 5
marketing
p.m.
scam that is. That's a hell of a marketing scam.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't sucking up that much bandwidth. It was just bullshit. No cell phone network ever crashed because there was too many people sending text messages.
No, and the fact that like we have 4G, 5G, whatever, it's like an example of that. It was never that serious. It was like the bog down was never the issue.
It's just another way to scam.
Yeah, if you had enough people in one specific area, then yes, there were issues because of the cell towers not being able to handle all the people in that specific area. But like in general, you would never have.
Yeah, but that's a matter of switching. The switching within the freaking chip itself. That has nothing to do with, because it has to differentiate the phone calls like each channel, and that's just a switching issue. It's not because that wasn't a bandwidth issue.
Well, I mean, if you have a lot of people gathered in the same area, so like for example, if I go to a convention and there's like 15,000 people in the same convention center, there's going to be a lot of lag in data because of how many people are utilizing the same towers.
Yeah, because the tower's getting shitloads of pings. It's broadcast traffic, right? Basically, we expect to fucking happen, dude.
That's what I expect. Yeah, exactly what I expect.
So, Owlish, you said you were intellectually honest, but you're not a flat earther. That doesn't go.
I try to be intellectually honest in most regard. Okay, like
So just
I ascribe
selectively.
to scientific belief, and my scientific beliefs lead me to believe that the Earth is round, and that we are spinning, and that we have a gravitational field. Whether or not I can substantiate those claims with observation is questionable. Does that make sense?
If they're scientific, you need to substantiate them with experimentation, not just observation.
There are certain experiments that, although I can't personally verify, that do ascribe the belief that the Earth is both round and rotating. But
Like what?
like what?
Yeah, what would be number one? What's the top one?
The top one would be gyroscopes. Would indicate a 15-degree drift every hour. That's an interesting concept to kind of take into account and understand that in general, that is not really possible in a non-rotating Earth. It's very difficult to replicate that otherwise. There's also the fact that, like, although we experience, sorry, lost my breath. That
Which
we
gyroscope
experience.
did that?
Which gyroscope?
Yeah.
I mean, any gyroscope that is properly calibrated for directionality will show a 15-degree drift every hour.
That's not an experiment, though.
What do you mean it's not an experiment? That's just like observed.
For that, you would have to be able to manipulate, the rotation of the Earth. Switch it off, switch it on. Be like, okay, it's not drifting now. It's drifting now. Or it's drifting at this slower rate.
I mean, we can use magnetic north versus true directional north to understand that there is a difference between the rotation and magnetic north of the Earth, right?
If it picks up the drift of the rotation, it should also pick up a drift from our orbit as well, which would be about
The orbit of what?
1 degree per day.
Well, if it's 15 degrees every hour, then yes, it would pick up 1 degree every day because there are 24
Yeah, but
hours in a day.
it doesn't.
So if you do 24, and I don't know this math because I'm stupid, but if you do 24 times 15, whatever the fuck that is, like 240 times 5 is, hold on, 240 times 5 is 1048, whatever that is. 248, 1048 degrees. I don't know. But you're readjusting every hour anyway. So that hardly matters.
Yeah, but why would it pick up one type of drift and not another type of drift?
What do you mean? Why would it? Because you're not going to notice a 1 degree drift every 24 hours if you're adjusting every hour for a 15 degree drift.
You don't think you can account for the 15-degree drift and see where it's drifted elsewhere?
Well, it's a pretty consistent drift, right? But you're going to have to readjust. So you're not really going to be calculating that for like the purposes that you're going to be using a gyroscope for, especially for whatever purpose you're using. You're not going to be using it over like more than 2 or 3 hours. There's no need to calculate that over 24 hours. I mean, in a world
Well,
where
yeah,
we
if you
have
were
a test, maybe
actually
we
trying to
could.
get to the bottom of this, right? If you were trying to actually really scrutinize this, you would, yeah. You wouldn't just sit there for one day. You'd leave it running for like a week, a month even. So you could
You don't.
accumulate the effect to make it easier to identify.
That's not really within the function of a gyroscope, though.
It's not. Oh, it's exactly in the function. It holds its position in space, right?
Yeah, but it's not in the
And
function
all the
of a
rotation
gyroscope
is
to.
a movement through space in some manner, the same way an orbit is.
And we can determine that by the 15 degree drift per hour. So if that data is
Yeah, and
extrapolated
where's the
beyond that,
drift
it
for the
kind of
orbit?
becomes so right. But if you extrapolate that data beyond that, it kind of becomes null and void because the data is already kind of null after an
Are
hour.
you?
That's why we have to
So we're not
readjust it.
orbiting, is what you're saying.
I didn't say we're not orbiting. I said that we wouldn't use that specific measure to determine that sort of drift.
Why not?
Because again, after an hour, the data is already kind of invalid. So we wouldn't use that to like we
The
wouldn't use that
data's
to
in.
calculate.
You're just collecting the data, right?
Right. And after an hour, we have to readjust in order to collect the correct data. So
No,
we
you
wouldn't
don't. You just
continue.
have to observe it. You just have to observe it.
Yeah, and we're going to continue observing incorrect data. So it's already null and void. So, I mean, what's the proof you're going to bring up with? This data is incorrect and now it's more incorrect?
Well, I'm not making a claim with gyroscopes.
Okay.
I'm just asking you why, if it shows one type of movement, it doesn't show another.
Yeah, that's
You seem to think it's
how I'm answering
because, this other movement would be negligible, or you couldn't identify it. So, which I don't believe is true.
Well, yeah, if it's already collecting incorrect data, you can't really extrapolate that data to determine if, like, there was another
Well,
force
I'm not
acting
saying
upon it.
the data is just the data, right? It's neither correct nor incorrect yet until we've applied it to some type of conclusion, right? We're just seeing what this thing does. So apparently it's doing what it's doing because the Earth is in motion in one manner, right? But the Earth's also in motion in another manner alongside this first manner. So we should see it doing things according to that too. That's all I'm saying.
necessarily, but I mean, because there are other things that play into it, not necessarily just rotation. Since we're using like a gyroscope, I mean, it could
Okay,
have.
so now the observed phenomenon basically is not directly related to rotation.
I mean, that's only if you
So can that be
extrapolate the data.
applied to the whole observation? Can we just say this is doing this because of some reason completely irrelevant to the idea of the Earth being in motion?
No, because if you use the data for what it's supposed to be used for, in the sense of like how it's supposed to be used, and you adjust for the known data, then it's going to be giving you an accurate representation of what you want. Otherwise, you're kind of just using
I
it
think
for
you're
it.
just
It's
you're
like
just
using it.
stringing words together here at this
No,
point.
I'm not just stringing words together.
Like you're
So like
not
it's like if
adhering to
you
the
use
you're
like
not
a
adhering to the principle you've laid out for this device.
no, I am. But it's like if you use like a temperature, like if you used a thermometer, like continuous thermometer used for like monitoring like a body temperature to for your refrigerator, it's going to eventually not show the correct temperature because it's not meant for that.
No, it's going to
It's just going
show
to
the
say error.
temperature that's available to it
It's going to
wherever
say
it's
error.
located. So
It's just going to say error because it's not regulated or calibrated for that sort of measurement. Like you have to use a device to measure what it's meant to measure. Otherwise, the data just isn't going to make any sense.
but you've claimed you're using this device to measure drift.
No, you don't use it to measure drift. Drift is just a side effect of what you need to recalibrate for.
Okay.
I don't know, do you have another point that you want to bring up? Any other point?
What was that?
Wait, I'm sorry, what? I don't even know who I'm talking to right now. Who am I talking to?
You're talking to the king.
The
No, I
king!
didn't know if you were asking me a question or something. I didn't catch it.
Oh, I just
Maybe you're just
like to
saying
see who
something
I'm
in
talking
general.
to. I just asked if you had any other points to make. I should probably go to bed, actually. Oh, it's 1 a.m.
What's a measurement?
What's a measurement?
Yeah.
In
I
what?
want the flat earthers to answer that.
Okay.
Does any flat earth
Where did everybody go? Flat earthers, come on. Chime in.
Was Mez muted already? Just stepped away for a second, came back, already muted.
He was muted really quick. He asked, "What is the measurement?"
I wonder who did that, actually. That's
Are
interesting.
you on the English Hub, Owlish?
I think I was banned.
You're banned, did you say?
Yeah. Yeah. I think they banned me.
Oh.
Like, specifically, I was banned from, like, the Flat Earth.
What, permanently?
Yeah.
I don't know. You tried speaking to DJ or Cyclone?
If I try speaking to who?
DJ or Cyclone? They run the room over there.
I'm trying to remember who banned me. I think it was either Says Who or one of the other people. I can't remember. What's his face? Can't remember his name, but one of the other people banned me.
Well, we allow fucking most people. Well, I'm not saying you're a bad person, but we allow some pretty annoying folk in there. Don't see why you shouldn't be able to get back in.
I don't know. There's some people who just genuinely dislike me. I'm not really going to question it. If they don't want me there, then it's whatever.
I couldn't comment because, I would have to hear the interaction that led to it.
I don't remember. I think I was just trying to. They asked me a specific question. I was trying to present evidence, and I think they got upset. I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, it was AI Ardent, I believe. I think that's who it was.
Ah, okay. You got on his bad side.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of them that just genuinely don't like me. He's one of them. I mean, it's okay because the cool ones like me, like Crit and I think Indio is chill with me because we discuss other things. I think I convinced Heretic to stop hating me.
Yeah, there's two types. There's people that don't mind a bit of casual chat and people that want it on topic all the time.
Well, Heretic, I kind of managed to get I managed to find him in chat when he was by himself and talk to him and was like, hey man, listen, I'm not trying to be your enemy here. And I think we kind of worked it out.
Yeah, Heretic's on a bit of a break right now.
Well, I hope Heretic is okay. I mean, that's the thing is
No, he's fine. It's nothing.
That's good.
Nothing serious, just a break.
Yeah, that's good. Genuinely, I I don't think that your opinion or your view of how the Earth is or whatever should take away or like say anything less about you as a person. I mean, I still like people as people, even if they have ideas that I disagree with. I like to keep the humanity in the situation.
Well, I would say heliocentrism, the globe, is completely designed to remove the humanity from people and each other, towards each other.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that, but in general, I don't really, for the opinion that they have, especially if it's like an opinion like this, it doesn't really affect me or affect anyone in a way that I should treat you negatively, in my opinion.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Fortunately, it's just not the reality of things, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right.
For every
and
decent
you're right.
person we get to have a conversation with, we've got to go through 50 utter spastics, essentially.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And there are bad people on both sides, mostly people who think they're like mentally, like intellectually superior to you because they have a different opinion. I don't necessarily find that to be true. I think you can have a kind of bad opinion. Not that this is a bad opinion, but you can have a bad opinion and still be intellectually superior to somebody else in another field.
Well, I mean, they view our opinion as an active threat to their known way of life, you know?
Yeah, I don't think necessarily true at all.
Well, we're just a bunch of people sitting about talking about the nature of the earth, be it
Yeah.
whatever it actually truly is, you know? And it's like that's just an intellectual pursuit at the end of the day, you know?
Exactly. I don't think
It's not
there's
hard. It's not, you know, it's not running after people with axes or something, you know, but they perceive it like that. They react to it like that.
You know, it's actually kind of funny you mentioned that because that's why I don't mind at all like coming back and discussing this because this is like one of the most benign topics you could ever discuss, and that's why I don't really care that people hold this opinion. I'm not out here to convince anyone because I think it's just fun in general to learn science.
Yeah, I'm not sure many of us Globers see Flat Earth as a threat. Maybe some people do, but my impression is not many people do.
I mean, I personally don't.
Yeah, I mean, we're such a non-threat that they have to
Yeah.
change the algorithms and all these types of things over the years.
It is an
Such a meaningless, benign group.
Okay, you're not meaningless. You have very much meaning. Fun. I think anybody like intellectually honest in this situation would definitely find the like educational endeavor to pursue flat earth to be more interesting than actually trying to debate the topic. If that makes sense. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore.
It can't be denied that if what we say is true, the entire perception of academia, mainstream science is totally flawed, right? And these systems would collapse overnight.
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah. That's a pretty existential threat, if ever there was one.
I don't see it as a threat. Personally, I don't see it as a threat.
I mean, I can totally understand why the globe attempts so underhandedly to preserve its existence. Now, we were talking about it in this channel just earlier today. We're talking about Bob the Science Guy one of our members, APOC, said he found him speaking on some X Space debate or whatever under a different username. And he was basically talking about how he pretty much revels in making up fake flat Earth arguments to put out there to get, like less critical flat earthers, I'd say, to latch onto, and then making his own debunk videos over this bogus information. Yeah. So, and that's how he spends his existence because of our existence.
That's
crazy. Yeah. So that, and that's not like one singular instance. I mean, that is the whole globe side pretty much in its entirety. Just non-stop underhanded shenanigans.
Shenanigans. That's definitely a way to put it. Yeah.
I mean, that's a generous way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's absolutely horrific behavior for a human being. There's, psychopathic behavior essentially. I mean, these are the true, like, scum of the earth type of people, if you the hide in plain sight type of thing.
True. I mean, on different platforms, I've seen people argue kind of ridiculous versions of flat Earth, and I'm like, yeah, this isn't like a real argument. This is like something you just made up.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of that.
Like, I'm sorry, but I genuinely don't see the firmament or the dome argument to be a very legitimate argument.
What's that?
The
dome.
The dome, people believe that there is an impermeable dome over the Earth that ends, like, essentially where Antarctica is. It's kind of like they have, like, this model drawn up where Antarctica kind of surrounds Earth like an ice wall. But also every direction is north for some reason, going towards the ice wall. I don't quite understand it, but
South? You mean south? Every direction is south?
no, he said north specifically. Or yeah, I don't.
If you go north, you'll eventually end south. He probably said.
No,
You
he
go-
said like
go-
every direction was north. I don't know. It was confusing to me, but
The only thing that matters at the end of the day is how the surface measures, and if it's flat, it's not a globe, and that's the end of the debate right there. Debate ended a long time ago. All we're dealing with nowadays, all we deal with is, doing what we can to help people fucking cope through it, and come to the realization and accept it. But most can't.
yeah, I don't know. I thought his argument was not really that sustainable because he was making a claim that there was an impermeable dome, and when I challenged him on the fact that there cannot be such a thing as an impermeable dome when you have factors like the sun heating up a dome and there's no way for the heat to escape, and the fact that like gas is released from various substances, and then his argument then turned to the fact that the moon was somehow filtering the dome, and it kind of went downhill from there. I don't know. It was very strange.
You said the dome holds gases in or something?
Yeah, I mean, which isn't like far off from like there has to be a container, but also when I kind of made the point that there can't be an impermeable dome because of the fact that gases that are naturally produced by like the environment, such as like methane, carbon dioxide, and other gases produced
By cows?
organically, will build up in the atmosphere and eventually poison us, or that the sun would essentially create a greenhouse effect and would increase the overall temperature of Earth. Then the claim turned to, well, I think the moon filters it somehow, and I was like, yeah, okay.
So if the dome
Man,
was
that's some
real,
pure fucking cope. Sorry, Dibs.
yeah, and I was gonna say, so if they did prove that the dome was real, then it would totally squash this save the planet theory, and it would squash NASA because then how would they get through the dome? Like, is that what you're saying?
I mean, this is his claim. He said that the dome was there and that
No, I'm asking you, like, that's why you think it's ridiculous, right? Because like none of those things would work if there was a dome. Like there wouldn't be NASA. You couldn't go to outer space. There wouldn't be
Yeah.
any global warming stuff going on.
Well, I mean, global warming is kind of a misnomer because it's climate change at its
That's what I meant. Climate change. Yeah.
yeah.
Like the climate change theory would be dead in the water if there was really a dome, right?
Yeah, it was just the inconsistencies in the explanation, and it kind of boiled down to like like literally a dome that you can reach. And he said that the reason we couldn't go to Antarctica is because the plane would run into the dome, and I was like, that doesn't even make sense, bro. Come on, like be so for real.
Yeah, he would have to show some evidence or some proof of that,
Yeah,
of this dome.
I think it was just a faulty argument all around. I mean, it's fine. He just needs to learn more. I'm gonna go to sleep, everyone. I hope everyone has a really nice night. And I hope
Good night.
everyone
Thank you, YouTube.
Yeah, and I hope everybody who celebrates Thanksgiving has a good Thanksgiving and hope
Merry
upcoming
Christmas.
holidays. Yeah. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. I'm sure I'll be back though. Well, good night, everybody.